And then you're going to keep an eye on YouTube.
Yes.
I will, if it comes on Facebook, I will try to keep an eye on it. There it is. Bye. Chat.
What's going on, everyone? Welcome to episode 41 of Damn That's Good with Big Salinas Barbecue. I'm Randy Salinas, joined by my brother Junior Salinas. We do have some guests coming on. We're just waiting for them to hop on. I know Chad's going to be a little bit late. Mags may hop on a little bit later. But we got a good, fun episode. We're talking about backyard barbecue, all that kind of stuff. So if you do have any barbecue questions for the backyard, let us know. And then, of course, this episode, we want to thank our sponsors, which are Holy Smoke Spice Company, Brothers Keepers Barbecue, Prairie Fresh, Meat Huggers, and Mad Cow Cutlery. So if you hadn't checked out their stuff, be sure to check out their stuff. They got some amazing products. But let's get this show started.
All right. Hey. Before we get anything going, big shout out, big prayers going to the barbecue broker and his family as they experience something that no parent would ever want to experience. I know our parents wouldn't want to do anything. I would hate to get that phone call. So our thoughts and prayers are with you. To the barbecue broker, we're supporting his stuff today. In memory of it, I'll get the pointing right. But again, big thoughts, big prayers with you. We love you. We're here with you. If you need anything, be sure to holler at your barbecue family. But let's get right into it. Going right into that's my small business shout out, is the barbecue broker up there. Hit him up for all your catering needs and the big pig up there, and he will help you out from there. What do you got as far as your small business shout out?
Small business shout out, gonna go to George Kano. He's got a good line of health foods coming out. So if you want some weekly or daily health foods, health meals, I should say, hit up George Kano. He just started that part of it, and of course, he's also got GC Seasoning, some amazing products out there. You can pick some up at Joe's Meat Market or any of his other stores that he has around DFW in Texas. So that shout out to George Kano Jr., GC Seasoning. Be sure to hit him up for any kind of rubs that you want. Or like I said, if you're on that diet, looking for a good healthy meal for work, home, whatever the case may be is, hit him up and he will get you some good meals that will help you in that diet and help you reach that goal. But that's my small business shout out.
Yeah, like I said, mine was the barbecue broker.
Okay.
Yeah, up there, it's a tough time. Like I said, to wake up to that, that's what I woke up to. I can't even imagine going through that with the call if that was Eden or something. So thoughts and prayers with him. I'm sure he'll give us an update when he feels it's necessary, and we will be patient and we will just keep praying until then. But let's get into it before we get into our questions. What were you cooking this past couple weekends?
I didn't cook anything this past couple weekends that I can remember. I mean, this is starting a new job. You kind of couldn't, but yeah, I hadn't really cooked anything up this past week or so. Just kind of relaxing, getting used to standing on my feet 12 hours a day, but easy work. I will take it. So definitely just kind of get used to that part of it. What did you cook up?
Nothing. We went to the Garth Brooks concert on Saturday, and Had a great time. He puts on a really good concert. Got a little inebriated, probably spent way too much money on alcohol, but it was the first time we've gone out without eating in a while. We let y'all handle eating duty. She came back with no bruises, no broken bones. So I guess it's a success from y'all's point of view. But it was, like I said, such a great night, such a fun night. Didn't get out of there. Didn't get out of there till around midnight. Didn't get home till right around 2. Wake up to go to church the next morning. Missed half of it. Got in there late and then just went in to our members meeting. But like I said, I really haven't done any cooking since the last time, but I'm trying and I'm excited about maybe cooking some chicken. So maybe some chicken wings on the Weber.
You can't go wrong with chicken wings.
Put that little 2-step on there. We're good to go.
Yeah. You're gonna sauce them. How are you gonna cook them?
I haven't decided. I thought about doing some chicken wings for the 27th for our draft. If you can make it out to that, Randy, making a bunch of chicken wings, just doing it a bunch of different ways. Do it grilled and then sauce them up. And then I thought about doing some with sauce, leaving it, and then some saucing it, putting it back on there like you would like a competition or something, just to let it set and then sit and then go back from there. But just thinking of all these different ways that I can do it and try it and go for it. See what happens. Maybe throw a rack of ribs. I don't know.
Yeah. Definitely can't go with chicken wings and ribs. Always going to turn out good either way, whether you're saucing them, not saucing them. As long as you can get them crispy, they're going to turn out delicious. That much I know.
That's the key, because it's like that day we did the brisket. You made it turn out really good as far as the chicken wings as we were waiting on the brisket. No, it wasn't the brisket. Yeah, it was. And we threw those really down, really did a good job there. And then they came out crispy, came out fun, and tasted really good, especially with some of the rubs and seasonings that you threw on there. So I don't know. I thought about that. Part of me says, hey, try the pork butt and stuff, but I don't know. That may be just a dream here coming up or something. Need to do some think of how I would want to cook it, but we'll go from there. What are you interested in cooking? What do you want to cook?
Well, I'm looking forward to getting that tomahawk cooked after game 1 when I come back. So that following Saturday, yeah, you're going to be cooking me up a tomahawk. You're going to be cooking me one.
We have our bet going on. For those that are interested in the update to the bet, Chelsea will not be included because she does not want to have to lose giving up anything. And that just seems there needs to be a bet between her and Randy and not me. So the bet is they go 3 downs and out. They do not get a first down. So they can go for on 4th down, 4th and 1 and not get it. They have to get at least 1 first down on the first drive of the first season against Tampa Bay. I say they can do it. Randy says no. It has already come down the pipe. Zeke's not playing this whole preseason, which doesn't surprise me. I don't expect any of the starters to do it. They only have 3 preseason games, if I'm not mistaken. So whatever.
I mean, reports coming out. They're practicing like doo-doo. So you never know what can happen. Like I said, either way, it's going to be a good tomahawk cooked, and I'm going to enjoy eating it.
For me,
I'm going to enjoy eating it.
They're going to do a slant route, and the second play to CeeDee Lamb. He's going to break 1 tackle, get 12 yards, not 13, not 11, 12 yards, first down, and I'm going to be having my tomahawk steak the following Saturday. Well, it has to be a Saturday. First of all, you ain't even going to see it because you're going to be at work, so I don't even want to hear your mess.
I don't need to see it. Don't need to see it.
Just go ahead and have it cooked, ready to rock and roll.
I mean, yeah, you got football is coming around, and obviously we got NCAA coming on. Some good games, coming early. Don't be surprised if seeing some upsets. That what starts this month, I believe.
I think I think so. When does the college football thing?
Oh, it's starting soon. But can't wait for football to get back. Look forward to it. Definitely gonna be cooking up some stuff in the backyard game day on Saturdays.
First games are August 27th. Not very big games that day, but we get those. That means when we do our draft at my house, we can have some games. Florida State may win that game, so that may be on. They play, I don't know, Florida High School. And let's see who else is playing on that one. North Texas is playing, so we'll have some actual football games. They're not the big names, and I throw Florida State in there because they've fallen off. They're my team, but they've fallen off. And then the next week, September 1st, we really get to rocking and rolling. So football season is coming along really, really, really quick, and I'm excited about it. Of course, NFL doesn't get started till the 8th, I do believe. So we'll see from there. But I usually like to do our fantasy football draft later, like right before the thing. But with none of the starters really playing and them having a week off, I figured, what the heck, let's go ahead and do it when we can do it. I knew we had to have it on a Saturday with you and your new job, so. Should be good. Should be exciting. But let's keep it going now while we wait for these other ones to drip. Some of them are at events and stuff, and they're going to try to hop on. I think we're both getting some messages here. Let's go to our segment as we talk about around inside the pit. This is one of our things here. We like to talk about food inside the pit. We've kind of teased it already. We've kind of talked about it already. I asked it very late because, like I said, I've been under the weather, so forgive me on asking it super late. We'll try to get some answers as they come in. But it's, how do you cook your chicken? And I know it's different. It all depends on which way, but how would you cook your normal chicken versus your chicken wings, Randy? How would you cook, your thighs and legs, your half chickens that you do for competition as opposed to just a chicken wing?
I'm gonna go and buy it at Popeyes or go and buy it on Walmart. No, I mean that's an open-ended question. You have to be more detailed with that.
That's the point.
But chicken, whether it's whole chicken, half chicken, chicken pieces, quarters, whatever the case may be, is those I'm gonna cook them, like I said before, high temperature, 350, 375. To kind of cook it fast, hot, to get that skin crispy. So definitely, if you're going to brine it, feel free to brine it. If not, just get that chicken dry, so pat it dry, leave it in the refrigerator to air dry, so that way the skin gets dry, and then season it so that way it rubs, sticks, and you're able to get a better color overall. That's the way I go with it. Certainly, you can cook it on a smoker, drum smoker, over, direct coals if you're doing like a little grill. Can't go wrong either way. But like I said, 350, 375, we're just kind of getting it up to, 175, 180. I've seen people cook 180, 200. We're just trying to get it to the temperature you want, the doneness, that it's all cooked through, all that kind of stuff. On chicken, I honestly will go just basically lump charcoal if I'm cooking it on the drum. Throw in some cherry wood is what I use. Can't go with, pecan, apple, peach. If you want to go oak, something like that. Whatever kind of flavors you want, you can impart that in there. Sky's the limit. There are no barbecue rules, like I said before. You can cook it however you want. Chicken wings, kind of almost the same thing. You're just gonna get them real crispy, kind of like that crispiness if you were to deep fry them, and then you can sauce them, not sauce them, doesn't matter, however you like it. I've done it to where kind of season them a little bit, smoke them, get them crispy, and then hit it a little bit more with some rub just to kind of give it more pop on the ends. And it kind of gives it, if you're looking for a little bit spicy, you can certainly hit it with a little bit more spice on it. But that's my preferred chicken method. Let us know in the comments what y'all's way do you like to cook it. What type of wood y'all like to use. And of course, thank you for coming, Chris Bustos, and then Camp House Barbecue Company. Thank y'all for joining. Like I said, comment down below what y'all's favorite way to cook chicken, whether chicken wings or chicken has. Let us know.
Yes. Chris posted here on Facebook about doing potentially what's your favorite flavor of smoke? Is it oak? Is it cherry? I know we're partial to pecan. What's your I did a pecan cherry mix one time and it actually turned out very well. Turned out really well. I was trying to message some other ones we're getting here. Like I said, come in, say hi, ask your questions. We're here to answer them as we are live here on Facebook and YouTube. If you're on YouTube, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button so you are notified anytime we go live here in the future. But what is your favorite flavors, Randy? You do more smoking and cooking than I do.
I've used pecan, post oak, cherry, and a little bit some apple. Brisket, I will go mainly pecan, just because that's what we used, and it kind of makes the brisket and barbecue stand out a little bit more than a lot of people who use post oak or oak in general. The way I look at it is with catering or cooking for people, whatever it may be, is if we're going to go sell somewhere, I want our stuff to taste different than what you would get at a restaurant. Whether it be Pecan Lodge, Hurtado's, all these, amazing top 50 restaurants. I want our stuff to taste different than theirs. So it's the same flavor, salt, pepper, garlic, all that kind of stuff. I want it to taste a little bit different. That's why I use pecan. Can't go wrong with post oak. Like I said, I've cooked a delicious competition brisket with using pecan. Chicken, like I said, I'll use cherry. Pork, I will throw in some pecan and cherry in there, maybe some hickory in there as well. You can get the B&B hickory lump and use that in there to kind of give a more balanced flavor. But I'm just, when I bite into something, I want to taste, deliciousness of everything. That's my preferred. Those are my preferred, flavors that I'll cook with. Like I said, pecan, oak every now and then, but mainly pecan, cherry, and hickory, and then some apple.
That's it right there. Some other people have posted in, they'll use post oak, the hickory or pecan, just said it 100% depends on their mood. They're cooking their chicken legs or thighs indirect on their Weber. I see that Johnny Mags is joining us here. As we get going here, asking questions.
I believe he's getting some stuff situated.
He's going to be in the car driving. I think he's on his way from an event, so he may be cutting in and out.
He had a burger competition, so definitely when he gets on, we'll ask him how that went.
How did it go?
And of course, if y'all don't know, if y'all on Tuesdays, check out Pit Life Barbecue's podcast. He's live on Facebook every Tuesday. You can also check out his stuff anywhere you get a podcast. Pit Life Barbecue does some amazing interviews. Definitely a lot different than ours, a lot better than ours. We just kind of wing it. We don't, we just shoot from the hip. So definitely check out his stuff.
let's do a shout out here from the Good Vibes Family Podcast, a Good Day for Football podcast. Troy celebrating a huge milestone, 4 years of being sober. That is huge, especially if anybody who suffered from that knows that. Will forgive that he's a Washington Commanders fan. But so our hats off to you, brother. Keep up the good work. Stay sober and stay on that right path. Because you can, just like Chris says, you can do anything. Never forget it. So big shout out to him on that milestone as well, as he goes for year 5 now as he comes up. So let's get it going. What else? So you've got the thing. You got your chicken. You got your thigh. Have you watched? Let me ask you this. Have you seen the show Barbecue USA? Have you been able to catch it?
I've seen parts here and there. I've kind of get home a little bit late, and the time I eat and sit down, it's already 8:20, 8:30.
Y'all have DVRs. You can record it.
I don't want to DVR it. No, I ain't got the time for it. But the glimpse that I have watched, it is a great show. Definitely, if you want to see what kind of goes on in the competition, definitely watch Barbecue USA. Some of the guys that we've competed against, Chicken Fried Barbecue, LC Barbecue, Fed Robles, all these great, amazing pit masters are on the show competing against each other. So definitely, if you're looking for a new show to watch, definitely check that out.
So that one in Texas, you competed up against most of those guys.
Yeah, I competed against some of them, most of them there. That was the KCBS one. Didn't go to that one, but yeah, we competed against some of them. They're amazing cooks for sure.
You need to try one for sure. But yeah, it's a totally different world. It's a totally different thing. Chelsea keeps asking, well, what's the difference? What's the difference? And that's the key. And the guy who runs it, the main audit, Simon, an Iron Chef, if he tries your food, tells you it's good, it's good. And how the rules stay the same no matter where they go. They don't care what they turn in. Now they were turning in chicken. Most of them turn in thighs, trimmed up. The competitions we've done, we turn in a half chicken. What do you think would be the difference in your cooking in that regard, having to do that?
I mean, there's no difference. You're going to use the same flavor profile. It's just theirs. You have cooking chicken thighs and chicken legs. You're cooking for bite through chicken skin. So you're not really kind of doing much different. You're just trying to get that, like I said, bite through chicken skin and all that kind of stuff. I mean, that's my opinion. I haven't tried it yet. Robert Rocha was the So Smoking Gooder show. Is going to be airing here later at 8:00. That's another good podcast to check out. He's done some KCBS. He can definitely shed some light on the difference between cooking chicken halves and chicken thighs and chicken legs. So like I said, you're going to basically cooking for the same flavor profile. It's just you're not going to be going for the knife and fork. You're going for bite through, just like you would ribs. You that bite through, not falling apart, not pulling apart for the chicken skin. You want to bite through, everything stays in place.
Would be your new streaming in the background. So yeah, that'd be Eden screaming in the background. If you can't hear her, you can hear her now. But what is your main differences? I mean, why KCBS versus, let's say, like the Lone Star winner, Champions Barbecue Alliance?
I mean, the main difference is just like the KCBS is bigger. It's bigger throughout the country. Here in Texas, IBCA, Lone Star, CBA, Outlaw, those are all the ones kind of big here in Texas. KCBS is, you're going to be able to compete in those throughout the entire country. Those, like I said, you're looking for bite through chicken. The ribs just want that bite through, not falling apart. That bend test on the brisket, all that kind of stuff. It's a different challenge. You're cooking, turn-ins are 30 minutes apart versus an hour. So it is more of a challenge in there. But, you can compete in either one of them. It's up to your preference on which ones you want to cook. You want to cook them all. Some people will just go KCBS and all that. But from what I can see is KCBS doesn't pay out a lot. So cooking here in Texas kind of helps because you have the chance of getting more money here in Texas with, IBCA, CBA, all those kind of cooking associations versus going to KCBS, and you may win first place and you may get $300-$400.
Yeah, that is true. And I noticed with all these competitions, there's a lot of people out. It's big cooks, it's big competitions. They do travel. Like we saw another episode where Chicken Fried was back in Atlanta doing one. Mm-hmm. Was in Georgia somewhere doing one. It might not have been necessarily Atlanta, but so you look at those and how he goes, and he scores well in chicken everywhere he goes. So every time he wins, it's like, well, the man can't cook some chicken. There ain't no doubt about it. So that is the key from there. So we'll see, like I said, what the future holds. Do you see yourself getting in any competitions while it's 200,000 degrees outside?
200,000 degrees. Where are you trying to cook it?
Hot.
Like I told you, when it gets hot, when it hits here in Texas, 100 degrees, I'm not cooking. You can go out there and cook if you want.
That's a lie. You will cook.
I'm saying my butt inside. The only time I'm cooking is I'm going to cook for, customers. But I'm definitely not going to go outside cooking 100 degrees out there, 110. Or like someone walking around the zoo in 100-degree weather.
It was a lot of shade in there, so don't even.
Apparently there wasn't enough shade for you to get a little bit sick.
And I got sick with something else. We won't mention it on there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Max is having some. It won't let him unmute, so Max may have to wait till he gets home. I guess. I'm not sure exactly what it's doing, but that's fine. I said, Jad is going to hop on here later once he gets done with his event, and then we'll talk with him. Some of the other barbecue questions that we had is, what was our opinion on pellet grills? I'm going to let you go first. What's your opinion on pellet
grills? Let's put it this way into perspective. We did the show they had a competition, and I won't say what episode or anything like that. And they had a pellet smoker. Somebody was using a pellet smoker, and he was like, "Oh, see, I don't have to get up and do all this and that, and I can just do this, and it does it all for me." I'm not a fan of it. I think I understand you can get a different flavor, you get a different smoke, you can do things different, but part of the thing that I like about the competition, or I like about it, is getting up and getting the fire going, making sure your temperature stays, and you're battling the elements with that. The fact that you can take a pellet smoker, set it to 275 or 300 and just leave it there.
Yeah.
To me, it just is like, okay, now you see why people refer to it as an easy bake oven. Yes, I know that there's been world champions that have won it. I know all the reasons why people have it and use it, and if you use it, more power to you. I'm not going to be not against you for using it or not. And yes, there's a learning curve with anything, but I think that's my thought. Is I'm not a huge fan of it. I like the fact that I gotta go. I gotta mess with the fire. I gotta take, how the wind's hitting it. I gotta make sure my vents are properly dinged, that they have the right airflow. Am I using the right charcoal, the lumps? What am I using? All of it taken into consideration when I think of that. So I would say a big not for me on a pellet smoker. What about you?
I mean, I haven't used one. Certainly, if someone wants to buy one, go for it. Definitely, if you don't have a lot of time, certainly the way to go. Um, you know, they do get honestly a bad rap. People, not liking them. It's not real barbecue. All that kind of stuff. But I think at the end of the day, barbecue is barbecue. As long as you and your family enjoy it, that's the only thing that matters. Um, so, like I said, if you want to do use it. Certainly does not matter. Um, like I said, I don't own one. I've never used one. Can't give you the good things, bad things with it. But hey, like I said, as long as you know how to use it, you can go for it. People use them in competitions and win with them. The only things with pellet smokers is if something goes wrong with it, you gotta be able to change out that part to keep it going, or you gotta be able to transfer it from one to the other if something was to happen. Which is why you see some people kind of use pellet smokers in drums or something else that kind of for other meats. They may use a pellet smoker for their chicken or brisket or something, but they do have more than one. And they are just using all pellet smokers just in case something happens. Because the first competition we went to, one of the people that was next to us used a pellet smoker, and he said with Darren his brisket cook, it went out. A part went out. He didn't know what to do. It took him probably about 3-4 hours to finally figure out, fix it, to get it back up and running. And by the time he was already 3 or 4 hours behind behind on brisket. He had to basically crank it up and just kind of went with it. And it was like us. We didn't get any walks, but that stuff happens. Doesn't happen a lot, but you kind of got to be willing and have that in the back of your mind. What happens if this does occur? But yeah, that's mine. And then the other one of the other ones was what kind of what's your thought on propane grills? Uh, if you use one, would you use one? Would you buy one?
We have used one, so there's that. I don't think I would buy one now just because I've used the charcoal, the propane, and I have gas at my house. So that's my reasoning for not really wanting a propane. But if I had if I didn't have it, the propane, it has its advantages. Hey, I can cook a steak or I can cook something real fast, fire the grill up, get it to temperature super fast, throw it on there and get it off. There's a flavor difference between charcoal and gas that you taste. Some people say they can taste the propane in the food. I don't know. My palate's not that great to do that. It's like people that will only drink bottled beer. They won't drink it out of the can because they can taste the aluminum. It all tastes the same to me. But that's my thought as to that. Is I wouldn't buy one just because you do have to get once you buy one you got to then get the propane thing, and that's $40 to $50, and most of the time you're going to have to buy another one, so that's $90 right there that you spend on
Yeah. I've used propane grills. There's nothing wrong with them. Definitely, you know, I wouldn't buy one if that was the only one I could get, but certainly nothing wrong with it. If you want to use propane grill, go for it. Definitely, if you do have one of those defined palettes, you're able to taste what's in something, what kind of rubs, what kind of seasonings in it, all that kind of stuff. Um, you're able to taste the propane, you know, all that kind of stuff. I you're better than us. I can taste the difference when I've used it. I think Junior had some issues. He's gonna hop back in once he gets that figured out. But like I said, nothing wrong with propane grills. Nothing wrong with pellet smokers. You got to use what you got. Know your grill. All that kind of stuff. Your whether you're using offset, charcoal, lump, briquettes, if you're using straight wood, reverse flow, whatever kind of smoker or grill you're using, know how to use it, be able to cook on it. As long as you are producing that good barbecue, that is what is important. Let us know if y'all got any questions. We do have some other questions. Like I said, um, some of the other guests, Chad is gonna hop on once he is able to get done with his event and get situated. Max is trying to get home so he can get his audio fixed. The general will hop back in here in a little bit once he gets that his situation figured out. I believe he had his internet connections or something. I want to keep this show going. Let me pull up what other questions we had. Uh, and of course, we'll go back to, let's see. There comes Junior back with his stuff while he's getting situated. Again, small business shout out, George Kano Jr. GC Seasoning. Be sure to check out his products, his GC Seasoning rubs. He's also got some good health foods that if you're looking to get on that diet for work, be sure to check his stuff out. Um, that's one of the small business. Of course, you pick up his stuff along with some of ours at Joe's Meat Market there in Roar City. If you got some small business you want to shout out, drop them in the comment and we'll share those as well. Are you back now?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, yeah. I don't know what happened with the internet here at the house. That could pose a problem. It will not connect. So I'm back to on the phone. So forgive me for my technical difficulties.
And that's what like I said, this show's live. We're gonna roll with it no matter what. But yeah, that's where, like I said, whatever grill you're using, propane, pellet smoker, offset, reverse flow, charcoal grill, whatever grill is, you're making a hole in the ground. Know how to use it. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. If we don't know the answer, we will point you in the right direction. And as long as you and your family are cooking together and enjoying it, that's the only thing that matters. And then
that is it.
And then what was your small business shout out again once you get back?
BBQ Broker, to send him some love, send him some business in his time of need. And I think I think it's like the Big Pig or something like that, where he actually does some cooking. Check them out as well. If you're in the area, you cannot go wrong with his stuff. I promise you that. So definitely go check his stuff out from there.
Oh yeah, for sure. Definitely, yeah. If you're up there near going through, you come across the Big Pig barbecue, be sure to stop in, give that stuff a try. Let us know how it tastes. And if you see the barbecue broker, tell them Big Slim's Barbecue sent you. Give them a little trouble. Because that's what we do. We cause a little trouble.
Yeah, bust his chops a little bit. Bust his chops. That's what he always said. We give him a hard time for sure for us. But yeah, a lot of great businesses out there. And of course, if you need a small business shout out, if you need, hey, my buddy has a good place that I think is great, or he has a good product. It does not necessarily have to be barbecue related. We've done realtors, we've done photographers, videographers, you name it, we've done it. And we'll continue to do it because helping the small business is helping everybody. Let's not just give our money to the big corporate chains. Let's help out those small businesses that help us out, that are willing to help out other small businesses like us. And let's all go to the top from there. So if you got a thing, let us know. Hey, give us a shout out on the next podcast, and we got you. So we'll help you out.
And then one of the other questions that come from George Kano Jr. was, what is your favorite grill? I know you only have a Weber, but let's say money was no object. You can pick out whatever smoker. You own the house. You can be able to, whatever you wanted to do, whatever smoker you want in that backyard. Chelsea gave you full permission. Here's X amount. Here's a blank check. You can go get whatever you want. What smoker are you looking at, or what type of smoker would you be getting?
Did it pause?
Yeah, you're freezing.
Okay. What type of smoker? Yeah. I was trying to look up Facebook comments, so I am not going to be able to do that and do this. So, blank check, buy whatever I want. I think I would go with the good old fashioned. I don't know. I like the drums. I like the convenience of them. But to me, there's something like having a setup like Rick has from We Dem Boys, having it mounted to the back. You have your cooking section back there, having the big old 50-gallon, whatever, 500-gallon drum, smoker, steak burner. I think that's what I would want, is something like that. Something like Dorothy.
Yeah. That's something I would probably say that's my favorite. Definitely, money no object, probably buying something like that. That's honestly my favorite smoker that I own. Yours is obviously going to be your Weber smoker because that's the only one that you got. But
are you going to make it sound bad?
Like I said, you can't go wrong with the drum smokers too. Those are so convenient. You're able to you can smoke it low and slow, hot and fast. If you're in like an apartment or something where you're renting and you don't want something big out there, that's another option. If you had your own home, definitely you can get you offset something like that as well. You can't go wrong with either one of those. But yeah, those were some of the questions that George Kano, proposed. Was same thing, Chris. Favorite wood, was depending on charcoal, pellets, favorite grill. If y'all got comments, y'all got questions, post them down below. You got any questions or something you want to talk about?
Okay, so here's the thing, and a lot of people have said it. A good friend of ours, Ed, uses this type of wood. Our uncle uses a certain type of wood. You didn't mention it amongst your wood things that I can recall. What's your dislike with mesquite wood?
I've never personally used mesquite wood. It just produces a lot of heavy smoke. So if you're cooking something like a brisket, you don't want to use just mesquite wood because it's going to produce too much smoke that's going to overpower the meat, which is why I use kind of pecan, because it's more of like a mellow type smoke, mild. Where versus mesquite, it's going to be that heavy smoke. You're going to kind of have to, use some different types of wood to kind of help bring down that flavor of it. So you don't want to overpower it. Where if you gone somewhere and you tasted something, like, I don't know, it seems kind of off. It's kind of got a bitterness taste to it. Sometimes it could be because of the smoke, whether it's heavy smoke, dirty smoke, whatever the case may be. Sometimes that could be the case of why you get that bitterness in there.
I could see that for sure. But yeah, it's definitely not something I've ever seen you cook with or even attempted to cook with. I know we have some uncles that want us to do a battle using mesquite, and I'm just like, no. It's not a fair fight for one to begin with. So let's see. If you had the trailer of your dreams, saying, would you go with a truck to pull it, or would you go with the massive RV that drives to pull it?
Is that going to competitions, or what are you talking about?
Correct. You know which ones. I'm like the Madden Cruiser type one that's pulling your barbecue pit, or would you rather just have like a dually or a truck to pull it?
I'd rather have a truck to pull it, just because if you want to go somewhere, you still have the capability of going somewhere versus going in an RV at the kind of hit the button to set everything up. You got to drive, try to find it. You got to put gas back in it, all that kind of stuff. With the truck, you're able to have all that convenience with it. You save a little bit less gas, I believe. You don't have to worry about getting, that Class C or whatever license that you may need to pull it. And plus, you can afford $100,000 for it. Yeah, so you're freezing. You may have to hop off and come back on. If the internet's back on. I can't hear you. So those are going on. Like I said, if you have any barbecue questions, let us know. We will answer those barbecue questions. You want our opinion on something? Let us know what that topic is. We will talk about that topic. We're an open book on any kind of thing that you want us to talk about, barbecue wise. Looking for some great groups. Be sure to check out Texas Brewing Crew Junkies, or Texas Extreme Barbecue as well. North Texas Barbecue Addicts is another good one. Texas BBQ Chapter, if you want to get another, want another one. The more groups you're in, the better it is, because you'll be able to ask those questions and get a variety of answers that you may have. So definitely check out those groups. Ask your barbecue questions. The only dumb question is not asking the question at all. And so he is still having issues. We're going to keep the show rolling. Again, small business shout out, GC Seasoning. Be sure to check out George Kano Jr. with it. You can hit him up on Facebook or hit up GC Seasoning on Instagram, Facebook as well, for to buy his products or to try his new line of health rubs. Not health rubs, sorry, health meals. So if you're on those diets and you want something healthy, you want to be able to lose weight at home and have some delicious cooked meals, uh, give his give him a shout because he does have some amazing food. Definitely, you do have to let him know ahead of time because they do sell out quickly. That much I do know for sure. In a matter of believe hours, it sells out. Um, I can't hear you. It says you're muted.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
I dialed in, so we'll see if that works. But excuse the technical difficulties.
And Mags is still trying to get back in as well. And then, like I said, we're still waiting on.
Down, I promise you.
And then we're still waiting on Chad's going to come on a little bit later. I know Kano Barbecue, Chris Kano probably is on. I know he's on vacation, so he's enjoying his vacation for sure. And of course, happy late birthday to both Chris and Curtis Kano with Texas Extreme Barbecue. Like I said, check out Texas Extreme Barbecue, Texas Brew, and Q Junkies. Also check out North Texas Barbecue Addicts. You can also check out Texas BBQ Chapter. All those groups are great. Check them all out. Find the ones that you like. Ask those barbecue questions in there. Here comes Chad. I believe, Chad, you just have to unmute yourself.
Hey, man. How are y'all?
Pretty good.
Hey,
so Chad come back in from his event that he had going. So if you're out in West Texas, you're going through Pampa, be sure to hit up Roll the Dice Barbecue. He's got some amazing barbecue. I'm not just saying it. I've had it. And it's delicious. That potato salad was good. Like I told him, I don't like potato salad, but I ate all that potato salad. I'll tell you that much.
Appreciate that. So what all did I miss?
We got some questions for you. But before we ask those questions, just go ahead and tell the people who you are and how you got into barbecue.
So my name's Chad. I have Roll the Dice Barbecue in Pampa, Texas. I've got into doing it just for the competition side of it, and enjoy cooking. I think all of it, everybody's enjoying it, so that's how they get started. So we just kind of took it to the next level. We were doing competitions and then decided let's get a trailer and get started trying to sell it and see how that works. And then it's just kind of turned into its own monster, so to speak.
Yeah, I know you had an event that went on, a week or two ago, that you had asked me for a special rub. And like I said, hey, I understood the situation. We're going to make sure we give you the tools to succeed out there. But how did that event go?
So that event actually is this coming weekend. It's the 12th, I believe, whatever that next weekend is.
It's coming weekend.
Yeah. So we have a guy that has some allergies to some stuff, and of course, called up Randy, explained it to him, and see what he could do, because we definitely want to use that product. So, man, it was sure nice. I'm sitting there looking at the bag right now.
Like I said, I want you to succeed. But yeah, some of the barbecue questions that we had was, what is your favorite type of wood to use? Whether it be beef, pork, chicken, just overall, what's your go-to wood?
My go-to, I would say, is probably hickory. I use a lot of hickory, a lot of post oak. So, it depends. If I'm doing like some appetizers and stuff like that, I'll even throw some mesquite in. But for 90% of it, it's hickory.
Now, do you have a preferred charcoal that you prefer to use?
Sorry,
you recommend to people? Do you have a preferred charcoal?
We use the B&B. we use their wood and charcoal or their lump anyway.
Yeah, that's what we use. We use as well.
The B and
Very,
B,
very consistent.
yes, the B&B, and then mix that with some big Salinas porker and holy garlic, and man, you've got something going.
Oh yeah, for sure. Telling y'all, if y'all out in Pampa, make that drive. It is worth it to try that barbecue. And then the last question we had just answered was your favorite grill. And then what I kind of proposed to Junior as well was money is no object. You know, your wife tells you, hey, here's a blank check, go and buy whatever grill that you want. What's your favorite grill? And if you had a blank check, what grill are you buying?
Oh goodness. That's a tough one, man.
It is.
So honestly, I'm going to go kind of old school, and I'm going to go with the Weber Smoky Mountain. I mean, I love those for competition. Very consistent on ours. I actually am running the fans on them to kind of help control everything. But those Smoky Mountains are hard to beat. And then if I could get anything I wanted, man, I like Jambo. Jambo pits, or maybe even an Old Hickory. Them Old Hickories, man, they do some work too.
Yeah, you can't go wrong with either one of those two for sure. And then of course, Tactical Smoke Barbecue. Thank you for joining. There's another amazing barbecue cook out there in West Texas. Max is still trying to get signed in. I'm not sure what exactly is going on. But he'll get it. We'll get it figured out, and he'll hop in as well. And then, you know, like I said, the whole thing is about backyard barbecue. So if you have a backyard barbecue question, ask it. We will answer it. We'll give you our opinion on it. The topic Junior had proposed as well was, what's your favorite way to cook a chicken?
All right, Junior. So you going to start that?
Mine? No, I'm not going to start that. Mine would be cooking like chicken wings, and just kind of, I've got a Weber kettle, so hot and fast, little indirect, so they get some smoke in there as well. And then we've done them direct heat, so we know they're cooked. You know, that way they're cooked really fast, so we can sauce them if we're going to sauce them. Last time, I don't think we did. We seasoned them up a couple different ways, and then we went and had at it. So we may do that in a couple of weeks where we sauce them. So we may throw it back on the grill a little bit to let the sauce sink in, but I haven't decided on which way yet.
Mine would be like just kind of hot and fast, you know, getting that skin crispy. You know, if we're cooking chicken wings, like I said, was cook it hot and fast, 350, 375, get it nice and crispy, and then I'll kind of re-hit it with some seasoning if I'm not going to sauce it. If I'm going to sauce it, then what I'll do is I'll kind of put it in a big old metal bowl, sauce, you know, toss it around, put it back on and let that sauce set. You know, cooking chicken halves is kind of cooking like competition. You just kind of cook it hot and fast. Sauce will last 10, 15 minutes, and it's good to go. You can't go wrong either. You know, however you cook a chicken, as long as it comes out delicious.
That's it.
The way I like doing the wings personally is smoking them for an hour and a half or so, and then I have a kettle that I carry with me, and throwing it on that kettle for about an hour. You know, cranked up, pretty hot, and then that seems to make that skin pretty crispy too. I haven't ever tried. I'm always afraid doing hot and fast the whole time. I'm going to open up the lid and there's going to be, you know, some pieces of charcoal laying there on the grill grate, something like that.
Yeah. Yeah. Chicken wings are always good.
Chicken wings, you can't go wrong with chicken wings. You really can't. And I know he's listening, and I'm not a fan of the blue cheese at all. If I'm gonna dip it in something, it's gonna be ranch.
There you go.
Mags, Johnny Mags over there, he likes his blue cheese. To me, it's ranch. Maybe it's a Texas thing. I don't know.
Now, Junior, did you dial in?
Yeah, I did both.
Okay. Yeah, because I'm showing 4, and I'm showing you on an iPhone video and you on audio.
I did it both because the internet apparently is out in my area. So the last time it kicked me off trying to do the signal, so I figured we'll dial in. My mouth might be moving a little bit different than the words are coming in, so that's why there's 4 people on this. I'm on 2 of them.
You were throwing me off. I thought Max was in there for a second.
You don't want to join?
Tactical Smoke Barbecue said he loves cooking chicken on his unsected drum, hot and fast, spray butter based, foil to protect for a bit. So I'm guessing he's going to foil under it, just like I would a competition, or he's going to foil the tip. I've seen that as well. That's another good, interesting way to cook it. And then he also asked for Chad, what event are you cooking in this weekend?
XIT rodeo this weekend. Daniel's a friend of mine. He's kind of in a neighboring town over in Amarillo, so we try to run into each other as often as we can.
Oh yeah, I'm pretty sure he's gonna make that trip out there to see you as well. From what it sounds like, if you're asking, if I'm asking, that's what I'm gonna be going.
We're busy, man, right now. That we've got XIT rodeo this weekend, and we've got Pampa rodeo next weekend, and then another event here in Pampa the weekend after that. So it's just go like crazy, man.
Oh yeah, you're making that money, doing what you love, enjoying it. Hanging out with your son. Enjoying everything doing everything with your family. Can't beat that.
Right. So, Randy, have you ever, I think you may have, but have you ever told Junior about, I guess one of the first times I actually called you whenever I messed up my brisket and used the wrong rubs and all that fun stuff?
Yeah, you were supposed to be using the Noble, and you grabbed the pork rub and hit it with it.
Yeah, it was kind of one of those exhausting nights, and so we had a different trailer at the time, and everything was just kind of in drawers and things like that. No rhyme or reason. Man, I just grabbed the wrong one, put it on there, and didn't realize it till it was too late. And that's been my brisket recipe ever since. And that's been about 16 months ago. And that's what I use on my brisket today.
Wow.
It was just kind of crazy.
Just like Daniel said too, mistakes can be game changers sometimes.
Yes,
true.
Absolutely.
Sometimes when you mess up, it's for better good, because you stumble on that recipe that you may never kind of come across.
Right.
But then that's the good thing about when you try different rubs, you never know. Like, if I make something, I strictly make it for pork, or I strictly use it for brisket myself. But then you have other people try, well, I tried it on this and it's delicious. I've tried it on that.
Right.
Messed up in your case, I put it on the brisket and, got a call.
I've had a lot of people, they're like, so what do you put on brisket or on, beef ribs or dino ribs, whatever. And I'll hand them a bottle of porker, and they're like, well, no, I said like brisket and beef ribs. And I was like, I know what you said. And I'm telling you, this is what I use.
Yeah.
It's just kind of crazy. And then they'll come back and, and then they'll go find our store down the road here in Pampa and get some big slants from them and stuff like that. So.
Yeah. We always appreciate that for sure. But that's how, like I said, sometimes mistakes happen every weekend. Mistakes happen every cook. And sometimes those are the best things that happen to you.
Yep.
Was there, you have any other better questions that come across, Junior? Or topics?
Topic, barbecue topics.
Yeah.
Now that I can think off the
Backyard
top of my head,
barbecue topics. What's your favorite?
We've asked you, yeah. What's his favorite thing to cook? And
what's
his
your
least favorite thing to cook?
Mine would be pork spares. I don't know. Those are a lot of fun to me, especially whenever you get into like the injecting and rubbing and all that stuff. So it's probably different for everybody, but to me it seems like pork, you can change the flavor on it really, really easy. And it doesn't hide it as well, in my opinion. So I think because it's kind of a little more critical, I guess you could say. But yeah, pork spares are probably some of my favorite.
Do you like them sauce, not sauce, if you're cooking in the backyard?
If I'm cooking in the backyard, usually I'll just cook them and eat them. But if we're serving out of the trailer and definitely comps, I mean, we'll glaze them and stuff like that.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Probably the same way for me for cooking pork spare ribs. Definitely just kind of season them in the backyard. Competition, now you do have to throw some extra flavors in there, whether good sauce, good glaze, good finishing dust. Definitely starts with a good injection as well. Sometimes people forget about that. But yeah, definitely for cooking stuff at backyard, definitely. Can't go wrong with the salt, pepper, garlic. Layers of flavor if you want to try that. Definitely comes out good. I know Junior's first rec, he cooked what? We just used salt. We just used the holy garlic is what you use for the
holy garlic and no bull rub.
Yep. They come out good. Of course, he's cooking baby backs, not spare ribs.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that.
For sure.
Yeah, nothing wrong with it except for the price.
Right.
So the price is here.
Yeah, I was a sticker shock.
That's a whole nother conversation, Randy. Good night.
Yeah, I know down here there's not very prices have not decreased a lot.
Not on ribs. Not on ribs. One iota. Let's see.
And then Tactical Smoke also said he likes to cook like I'm competing every cook, even in the backyard. Always a test kitchen in my house. I think we're probably the same way. And then he asked, have you ever heard of using tang for injecting on chicken? I have not.
I haven't heard that one.
I've had tang, but never injected with it. I hadn't had tang since I was a kid.
Might have to play with that a little bit. That'd be interesting in some wings for sure.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, that would definitely. Yeah, I could see that, and definitely giving a different flavor in chicken. I don't feel probably like. Now we're going to probably see that trend in people using.
It's all going to be Daniel P. Tactical Smoke done started something now.
He's either playing with us or he's on to something. One of the two.
Your niece, Randy. I can see you.
What? How do you prefer your steaks? If the wife says, "Hey, cook me up a steak," how you cooking that steak?
Is there anything other than like extra well? I'm kidding, Randy. Don't even.
We're gonna have to boot you from this live.
I almost hung up the call. Like leaving the meeting.
Medium rare, maybe medium, but usually medium rare.
Now, what did you season it with?
What do I season it with?
Yeah,
Holy garlic.
holy garlic.
So that my son actually did a cook and won the steak here in Pampa, and he used Sassy Joe's and holy garlic.
Oh yeah, Sassy Joe's. That's another good one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and he was 15 at the time and won the steak division.
Oh, yeah.
It was just a small little cook off, but still, it was he was pretty proud.
Yeah, it's a proud. That's a proud
Oh, wait.
dad moment right there for sure. Just
Oh,
see
yes.
him, come out of the comfort zone and do something for the first time and win. Definitely, yeah. Cooking a steak, probably the same thing. Rare, medium rare is what we kind of prefer. What me and Junior prefer. Our family, otherwise, it's medium well.
Medium well.
Sure, we're not
break her
cooking it
heart.
well done. Dane. Well done and some ketchup. No, we're not Patrick Mahomes. Using ketchup on steak. But yeah, for sure.
No.
Holy garlic, maybe hitting it with some. I've kind of gotten used to hitting with Texas oil dust, their AP,
Right.
and then hitting with some Red River blend from Ponchos and Lefty. And then of course some holy garlic on there as well. It's a kind of good flavor profile. I'll use just because it provides so much different flavors for a steak. But I've used it just holy garlic. I've used holy garlic and noble, just the noble. You cook it, perfect tenderness. That steak's gonna come out delicious.
Yep.
What about you, Junior? How are you cooking that steak? What do you see?
Medium rare, of course. Anything over that, I think it's overcooked. For me, if it comes out medium, okay, cool. That's kind of why I order that, because at the worst case, you're going to get it medium. And I've kind of convinced the wife to do it that way. She'll go medium as the most, but she likes that there. But like you said, her parents. Me seasoning it. I think the last time I cooked steaks, I did the holy garlic with the noble rub, a little bit of both. Let them sit for a little bit, threw them out there on the grill, and they came out awesome. So that was pretty much the way I've done it. I haven't experimented with too much stuff as far as my steaks. I like it a certain way, and I want to just price of meat's too expensive to experiment.
Yes. Yeah, that is for sure. I know, like briskets right now here at Kroger, you can get the coupon like $2.49. I think is what I paid.
Yeah,
$2.49 for 5, or up to 5 briskets. But most of them, like prime briskets, now are back up to $4 or $5. Choice brisket, $3.50 to $4. Same thing with select. I mean, it's kind of hit and miss. Sometimes, the primes are just as bad as the ones that are like the Kroger special. Sometimes, those Kroger ones are just as good as the primes. It's kind of hit and miss. I don't know how it is over there in, Pampa. It's probably the same situation.
Same. And it's kind of I see stuff on Facebook where people are finding it cheaper and finding sales, and man, I think every time I see that, it's like at a Kroger or an HEB and all that, and the closest HEB we have to us is in Lubbock, so it's about 180 miles away. So it's it's definitely changed for sure. Even pork shoulders, man, those things have went crazy too. So it's definitely something you got to look at now.
Yeah, prices have gone up on everything. I think I've heard there's now like a ketchup shortage. So some people are producing a lot of barbecue sauces. You may not be able to find their barbecue sauce here in a little bit because it's getting kind of hard to get some stuff. It's the nature of the business that we live in right now. You just kind of have to roll with the punch and hope that when everything gets back to normal, you're standing up and able to kind of keep going.
For sure. For sure. But it's funny because we joke about it with our dad, and when we first looked for brisket, when we first were getting into it, his brisket prices were 79 to 99 cents a pound. It hadn't been that way since we were kids, and that's how he's stuck in his mind. And now he sees it $4, $3, and he's like, yeah, that 179 that we initially brought briskets at, or those prices, we would love to have those prices back. So that definitely tells you the time change from the prices for sure, because he's seen them go from all the way from 79 cents, if not lower than that, to $4 or $5 a pound. It's ridiculous.
Yep. Yeah, sometimes he's able to find those good deals, those briskets. And like, hey, they're on sale here on Market Street. They're on sale over here, at this place. Or, I talked to your uncle and he's saying, hey, don't buy it, at Market Street because United is going on sale next week, or, they're going back up. Sometimes that's the case. So sometimes he's able to, like I said, he beats me to it. But you just gotta have to find what you can find cheap, and be able to make your money, especially running the full food truck, or catering, cooking backyard. You just gotta get what you can get.
Well, and you've been doing a lot on the weekends too, some cooking for people and stuff like that. And how's all that going?
I mean, it's going good. Right now, it's kind of slowing down. Starting the new job with Texas Instruments, so it's kind of. I think we got one coming up on the 25th this month, and then after that, we're going to try to be doing, on my days off, cooking up some briskets to kind of earn some extra cash. Trying to save up. Definitely tell you, Texas Instruments is an easy job, but it's not one of those jobs you're going to see me there for 30, 40 years like some of the people that are there. If I make it a year, hey, great. But the plan is, to be in the same position you're in, running a food truck, being able to just do barbecue all, whenever I want. We're going to try to get there. Like I said, cooking briskets every week or cooking something this, next week, and, whenever we can to earn that extra cash. Bring in new customers, bring customers back. But briskets are coming out good. Definitely the cooks are kind of getting there. Chicken, for whatever reason, cooking on an offset, I don't know what. It's hit and miss. Sometimes it's really, really good. Sometimes it's okay. But no complaints from customers. It's just me. I'm not satisfied with how the chicken's coming out right now.
I need to get some of that rub from you and play a little bit.
Yeah, I can send you some. That way you can play with it and let us know what you think of it, because that chicken rub, we're still kind of playing around with, trying to see
right
if we're on the right track, if we need to kind of add something, change something. I have a store already wanting it, but said, hold up, it's not for sale yet. We're just, testing it and see how good it is before we bottle it and then
right.
It's definitely something you could go normal and spicy, so I think you'd be good there.
Yep.
But I'm sure you've made changes since the sample I have in there. Because that's the one thing about you, you will make changes with the quickness. So
I hadn't changed it. It's good.
No,
yeah. So the same thing that Chad's gonna get is gonna be the same thing that I've got, same thing that Junior's got, same thing that Ed tried. I hadn't changed anything yet because I want to hear people, see what they think, whether it's, maybe too sweet, maybe it needs more heat, needs, whatever the case may be, maybe it needs a spice that I hadn't thought of to kind of set it off.
The last time you'd sent me some chicken rub to try out, I don't believe you had quite released your peach sauce yet. And man, that peach sauce is a game changer on that chicken.
Yep.
I would be interested in trying that for sure, because it's man, it's some good stuff.
Oh yeah, that peach sauce is a game changer for sure. I need to make some more peach sauce, and I need to get some more spicy peach sauce in as well. Some people that wanting that as well. But it's just trying to find the time to get everything done.
It's just time, Randy. I mean,
yeah. There's only 7 days in the week. Next week I'll be able to kind of catch up on some of that stuff because I'll be working 3 days. So I'll be off Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So I'll have more time to get stuff done. This week I don't want to do anything. My legs are sore. My feet are hurting. Like I said, the job's easy. It's just walking around for 12 hours on metal with the shoes they gave you. Those shoes don't work. They're $200, but I'll keep those $200 shoes you gave them to me. But no, my dogs be barking. But yeah, so just finding time. There was another question I was going to ask. I forgot. You said steak, chicken. Is there something that you wanted to cook in the backyard but hadn't cooked yet?
I haven't done a lot with like fish, and there's a lot of people that do. And man, I've got a friend he has all cedar planks and in the whole nine, and he gets really into it, and it always looks like something kind of fun. I just had never really had the opportunity, and I guess when I have that thing called time, I just have something else to fill it. So, but yeah, I think trying to cook some fish and stuff would be pretty cool.
Like you want to grill the fish, smoke it, or?
No, I'm just thinking smoke it probably. Now Bryce, he's actually gotten out there and grilled tilapia, whatever, and went all out with it. I mean, it turned out really good. But I mean, it took him a while because you have to have the heat just right, and you have to have everything, use duck fat to keep everything from sticking, and all that. So it's I guess he has the patience for it.
Yeah. The only thing I've done fish wise is we've done it to where we've put it in foil, put it on the grill. We kind of cooked it that way. I hadn't cooked a whole lot of it besides that. I think the other thing that we've been wanting to try, just hadn't had the opportunity to do it yet, is doing a whole hog. Or whole pig. We had the smoker to do it. We just hadn't had the money or had the time to go and buy the pig, and cooking just for 4 or 5 of us, we're not going to be able to finish all this. It's going to be able to find the event, find the opportunity to be able to do it.
Right.
That's something I'm interested in doing to see how it turns out.
Whole hog's fun. It's definitely time consuming, but so my offset, you hadn't ever seen it, but it's I can do about a 70-80 pound hog and do pretty good with it. But first time I ever tried doing one on it, they gave me like 120 pound one, and it just didn't work out because we couldn't even get the thing in there like I wanted it. So but yeah, it's fun. Definitely enjoy it.
Now, what did you season it with and all that? Did you base it with sauce?
Yeah, we just a lot of apple juice. Just keep basting with apple juice, and at that point, I want to say we were using. I don't even remember. It was before the big Salinas. Before I started getting into what you have. But like I said, the big thing was we just kept spraying it. Like we have one of those pump up sprayers and just kept spraying with apple juice and keep it moist and
Moist.
yeah.
Yeah, I've seen people do that, and then I see people kind of basting it with sauce every so often. They kind of do it that way. There's so many different ways you can to cook it. So that'd be something that we would do. Just being able to kind of do it would be the kind of ultimate thing to have it turn out real good. Ultimate skill test. To see.
So I got a question for y'all. What's probably one of the most fun things you've cooked?
Oh, one of the most fun things. Probably, honestly, it would probably be the first tomahawk I cooked. To have that come out really good and tender and moist. It was honestly kind of like, grabbing it and like, okay, how is this going to turn out? Is it going to be too rare? Is it going to be overdone? Being able to kind of cook it and being able to kind of hold it and be like, look at this, this kind of one. But that was probably, my most fun cook is cooking that tomahawk. I don't want to go kind of brisket because, brisket's, my favorite thing to cook is, brisket. Just because, I've worked so hard to try to perfect it.
Right.
I think he's still trying to get back into it.
Yeah. So we had, I had some people ask me to do a birthday party / New Year's Eve party type deal. And I said, well, what do y'all want me to do for it? And they said, well, surprise us. There's going to be, 30 to 40 people. Just here's the money we can spend on it, whatever you can fit into that. And so I was like, okay. So it's probably one of the most fun things I've put together, and that was a barbecue charcuterie board. It had brisket, ribs, pork. I lined it with like sausage, had piles of potato salad and slaw in the middle of it, and just had like all the ribs and everything circling all of that. And that was probably one of the most fun things I put together. Of course, it could have fed double of the people that were there, but man, that was a lot of fun. I took a lot of pictures of that deal.
Yeah, I bet. So he posed a question, Junior. What's the most fun cook that you've cooked?
The most funner cooked.
The best cook. You don't have I know you have a lot of options to choose from.
Personally cooked would be the ribs when I did them one day. I thought they came I tried Dr. Pepper ribs, soaked them in Dr. Pepper the night before, kind of brined them a little bit like that way. Those came out very tender and pretty good the next day. But the cook that I think I enjoyed the most that we've done together was the competition in Ennis. When you had Jambo out there, you had I forget the other one. Johnny Trigg was out there, and a bunch of big name other stars were out there. And we actually had fire issues in the middle of the night. So we had to restart the fire at about 4 a.m. We just kind of stayed up and went there. We had to deal with the weather. It was raining. We were actually our bottom step to our RV was on the water. Like it was level with the water that we're at. And we started to get through that to get to the pit, and then walk maybe a quarter mile, half to the thing. And I remember falling at one point, handing you the box so we could make the turn in time. We didn't get a call that day. We finished pretty good overall, I thought. But to me, that was a real good cook. A lot of fun that day.
Yeah, that was a good cook. So that one, I don't know if I told you, Chad. So when we got there, I had a Colorado, and I was pulling my pit. And my dad was pulling his RV. Well, the people that were in front of us, they took off this like ATV. I'm not sure exactly what it was, but they took it off. It didn't work, so just kind of set it there. So they drove to and from turn-ins with this big mud tire. So every time they were going through, they were making this divot in there. And people were saying someone's gonna get stuck. Someone's gonna get stuck. Well, they end up pulling my dad out so that way he didn't get stuck. But they pulled the RV out, and then my dad just followed. So I had to pull the smoker out. Well, lo and behold, who gets stuck? This guy.
You do.
I managed to hit one of those divots by like that much, got stuck in there, and the guy comes and I had it on the traction mode, and the guy hit it off and says, floor it. Well, next thing I know, he comes around and he's covered in mud. He's like, just leave it. And then he looks, he goes, "Oh, you turn the traction off." I said, "No, you turn the traction off." So yeah, that one was an interesting one, but someone ended up pulling everything out. And then luckily the people that were in front of us were nice enough, said, "Yeah, it was our mistake. We'll go. You help us load this. We'll get y'all taken care of." So they help us pull the truck out and then the smoker out. But yeah, that one was a mess, but it was fun.
That was fun.
Yeah, but there's been some good cook stuff, we've done. What's your favorite cook-off that you've went to?
Well, the most memorable one would probably be went to one. So I have a friend that I'm helping kind of get started into the cook-offs and stuff like that. And I guess this was a little over a year ago. And he had my big offset trailer, and I had my previous enclosed trailer with all my Webers in it. And we set up, and he started cooking, and I started cooking, and then it decided to start raining, kind of like you were saying. It just didn't stop. Like it was, there was, I don't remember exactly how many offsets there was there that day. But every one of them just were fighting, keeping temp because of the rain. I mean, you can't really park an offset underneath a canopy. I mean, I guess you could, but might get fun. And so none of them were covered or any of that. And I mean, it just, like my buddy that had my offset, his temp went from 255 to like right about 110 in a matter of like 25, 30 minutes. And he just couldn't get it relit, couldn't get it going. So by the end of it, there was, I want to say there was like 16 teams or something like that. It was a pretty small one. And I think only like 4 teams turned in because everything was just wet. Half the teams just decided to go home. They were done. So it's probably the most memorable one. But probably my best one was in a town kind of here by us. We had done the cook, up all night, turned in. That was just a 2 meat. We turned in ribs and brisket. And this was a month after my oops with the porker. And so they said, okay, awards are at 6. And so it's 4:20, something like that. So my son and I just got in the truck, air conditioned, kicked back, set alarms and all that. Well, then we wake up to people banging on our windows saying, hey, they've done the awards. Y'all might want to come up this way, and see how it went. I was like, oh, okay, yeah, we'll head that way. We thought it started at 6. Well, they decided to start early. And so we were on the way up there, and this other guy stops. And he's like, dude, y'all just like won it all. And I was like, wow, okay. So basically we got up there, and that mishap with the porker and everything on the brisket took first place in the brisket. And then we took first place in the ribs, won the whole event. and didn't even get to hear our name called. Uh, so it was, like I said, it was a fun event, definitely. But I've had a few people ask me, and I said, yeah, that's probably one of the most fun ones. But I said we missed having our name called, so we'll just have to do it again.
Yeah.
And see if we can have the same results.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, you definitely have to do that again. I've always hated when they'll tell you, okay, we're going to turn in these times, and then the judging is going to be, 4, 5, 6 o'clock, whatever time it is, and then all of a sudden they come back. Okay, we're going to go ahead and judge now. Or we're going to go ahead and call the awards now. I'm like, well, you said at 6 o'clock. Now we're, kind of getting everything ready. Like, okay, whatever. Sometimes you just kind of, okay, sure.
Yeah. Yeah. And at that point in the day, most of the time you've been up most of the night, and you're just kind of like, I just want to unwind. Everything's turned in. You kind of go into chill mode.
Yeah. Yeah. It's real nice once you get that last one turned in, just to kind of sit there, for 30 minutes, an hour, however long it is, just kind of relax, have a cold beer, beverage, whatever it is, just kind of unwind and be able to, okay, how did the cook go? Eat a little bit, put stuff up. And then it kind of throws you in the loop when they kind of say, yeah, we're just going to go ahead and do it. Because now when you get back from awards, you're kind of scrambling to kind of get everything in, everything ready so you can go home. But yeah, sometimes those are the best things, because you know what? That may mean you can, in your case, like you got those calls. Bad thing is, yeah, you didn't hear your name.
Right.
And I know you had talked about that your son was wanting to do a cook-off on his own. Has he made up his mind on it, or?
Yeah, he's going to. He's actually talked to Daniel at Tactical. He's wanting to kind of get into the SCA stuff and do that. He loves doing the cook-offs. He just he's like, it just takes so long, and I mean, and it does if you're doing everything nice and low and slow and all that, but I think he's gonna probably get into the steak side of it and play around with that some.
Oh yeah, definitely following Dana will kind of help him.
Right. Well, his goal for next year is to try to get to that big one in Fort Worth.
Oh yeah, that one is a tough one. If you can get that call, for sure.
Yeah. He's like, well, I want to do that. And he said, then we're going to holler at Randy and have Randy come hang out. So I was like, okay.
So I was going to say, yeah, he makes it. We're all going to be down there to support him. I know one of my buddies cooked it 2 or 3 years ago, and kind of missed making the finals by like 2 or 3 points.
Oh man.
It was one of those situations. The judges did what they weren't supposed to do, just like in barbecue competitions. Sometimes they're not supposed to judge it a certain way, and they end up judging it that way.
Yeah.
In his case, he cooked one side real perfect, the perfect lines, everything. The other side he messed up, so he, switched it, the right way. So one of the boxes was great, but for whatever reason, halfway through the judging, the guy turned it over and says, "Look at this," and kind of messed them up. But
yeah, I didn't think you were supposed to flip it. That's
you're not supposed to. Like I said, sometimes the judges will kind of go off and do their own thing, and it kind of messes it up.
Right.
In his case, it hurt him, but you cooked a delicious steak. That's where coming, learning from someone, finding your recipes that's going to be, different than everybody else kind of helps.
Yep.
A lot of people will use, what's the big ones? Arcasipi combo, Sassy Joe's, Poncho and Lefties, Cosmos, another big one. List goes on and on. And people that will use those same recipes, if you can use it, but tweak it to where it stands out.
Right.
Well,
the stuff that he's played with. I mean, like on his steaks, he runs, even when he's just cooking them at the house to kind of play with. I mean, he'll run Sassy Joe's and all that, but he's always got holy garlic on it. And I said, what's the deal with that? And he said that I just got to figure out that combination, because he said that they pair really well, and they do. And so he's definitely hung on or he's hooked, I guess you could say. So yeah, it's pretty fun. Definitely, especially watching him kind of learn it and play with different things.
Oh yeah, for sure. Definitely keep us informed on when he does those. Something I will probably get into later on, as we go. SCA is definitely a different beast to kind of tackle. But certainly, if you're able to get success in there, you're a great cook.
Right.
Anything else you got to ask, Junior?
That's all I got. Nothing that I can think of off the top of my head. So
nothing else I can think of.
Never
we'll
been.
Before what were you gonna say?
No, that's it.
But yeah, definitely we'll have you back on the show, Chad. Maybe we'll, when your son gets into it, we'll have your son on as well, talking about, SCA and all that kind of stuff. But something that we kind of got into last year that we had a guest on this year. We just want to turn this attention to you and be able to allow you to say thank you to, family, friends, all people that supported you. And then, of course, how people can find you in Pampa, and where they can follow you on social media so they can stay up to date on where they can get that delicious barbecue.
Cool. Yeah. Yeah, most definitely. I guess the biggest people I got to thank for letting me chase what I'm doing and chase my dreams and all that would obviously be the wife and the kiddos, because they're the ones letting me do it. So, and then Big Salinas, obviously, man, y'all put a lot of iron on my wall. Everybody's really enjoying the seasonings and everything we're pushing out of that trailer. Because everything we push seasoning wise is obviously Big Salinas. So, big thanks to y'all, and what y'all have done with us and things like that. So, you can find us pretty much the Instagram, Facebook. It's just Roll the Dice Barbecue or Roll the Dice BBQ. I actually have started a YouTube channel. My YouTube guru, I've about blown his phone up, I think. I'm trying to figure this deal out. But I'm actually in the process of working on that. That's going to be geared toward a lot of our events and things like that. Kind of on the barbecue / food truck side of it. Instead of learning how to cook barbecue, just kind of let everybody see the different side of it. And that's Roll the Dice BBQ also. But yeah, definitely a big thanks to y'all. Big thanks to my wife. We get to go out every weekend and do what we enjoy. And like you'd said earlier, I get to do it with family. We're already close to expansion. We're looking at another trailer, and we will be September 3rd will be our 1 year anniversary. So we've grown that fast, which is just amazing. I'm still kind of in shock. My wife and I were just talking tonight that wow, it's just crazy. Never would have thought it. This was just going to be a weekend hobby, and it's just kind of taken off. So definitely lucky and blessed.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we got some good barbecue. Definitely, sky is the limit. And then where can they find you over the next course of the month?
All right. So this weekend we will be in Dalhart, Texas at the XIT Rodeo. It's a PRCA rodeo. We're actually heading up tomorrow. Be there all day Saturday. Big orange trailer. Can't miss it. Has flames on it. I mean, it's pretty cool. Weekend after, I've got some catering events, or the week after, I've got some catering events. And then next weekend, Pampa Rodeo, we actually are doing what we kind of started calling a double whammy because I get roped into it a lot. We are actually having kind of a concession stand going on one side of the arena, and then my son and I are going to have our trailer going for the concert / dance. They've got a Red Dirt singer coming in, and Saturday night we're actually cooking some ribs for him with my new special rub, and for him and his band, and so that's the next weekend. And then let's see, the 20th is a big event here in Pampa called Pampa Fest. They've got a bunch of food trucks. Jason Boland and the Stragglers will be here playing. If y'all are around, definitely come check that out. It's an all day, starts like at 11 in the morning, runs till 11 or 12 at night. And yeah, the next weekend we have a big benefit for some just like CASA and stuff like that we're doing, that we're helping with. So definitely, I think we counted it. We have like 7 weekends in a row left that we're at events. So like I said, just super crazy, but man, wouldn't trade it for nothing.
Definitely, yeah. You're gonna stay busy. Big things coming for y'all. I'll let Jenna in this episode this week. Again, my small business shout out. Yeah, you're gonna end the episode. My small business shout out was George Keno Jr. with GC Seasoning. And of course, if you're looking for some health foods, health meals, I should say, hit him up, George Keno Jr. on Facebook. Or GC Seasoning on Instagram. He's got some amazing stuff. So if you're on that diet kick, want to get healthy, hit him up. He'll cook you some delicious on-the-go meals for you to take to work. Then, of course, if you're looking for some new rub sauces to try, give our stuff a try, BigSnoozeBBQ.com. We got 3 amazing sauces, 4 rubs. As Chad has said, our stuff goes into the stuff he cooks. Like I said, I've had his barbecue. Definitely give it a try if you're in Pampa, driving through Pampa one weekend. Make that stop. Worth a try. Give us a follow on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Twitter, all those social media sites. Stay up to date on what we got going on, what rubs we're coming out with, maybe what sauces we got coming out. That's where you're going to find it. If you want to try some stuff, that's where you're going to have to stay up to date on it. And of course, as always, give ourselves a try. You never know. Just make it hook on big taste, big flavor, big Salinas.
There it is. And remember, this is our views, our opinions. Do what is best for you and your family. Give this stuff a try if you haven't tried it before, because that's what it's about. If you like it, and hey, y'all have good ideas, but I did this for my family, do it. Because like we said, time and time again, the cost of meat is too high. If you don't feel like trying something new, they don't do it. Do what's best for you and your family. Do what's best for your pocketbook. But do it with love, do it with passion. I do have a slight update on my small business shout out, which was the barbecue broker and his company out there up north. His son is home, doing a lot better than yesterday. Let's continue our prayers from him because, like I said, no parent would want to get that. I'm a new parent, so I would hate to have to get that news from there. So go hit him up, the barbecue broker on Facebook or anywhere else. Send them your prayers, send them your love, because that's what we're about. The barbecue family, we're a community. If one of us is hurting, we're all hurting. We're all going to build up each other. Like I said, when you're out there cooking, stay hydrated for sure, because it's hot, especially here in Texas. Do it with love, do it with passion, and we will see you down the road.